Glad you're here. I'm Grace, and this is EFL USA, Practical English for Life in America. Before we start, close your eyes for 1 second. Imagine this. You are at work. Your manager walks up to your desk. She asks you, "Can you give me a quick update on the report? Is it going to be ready by Friday?" Could you answer right now, in 3 seconds, without translating in your head first? If your answer is no, if your mind goes blank, if you feel your chest get tight, you are exactly where you need to be today. Today, we are not going to study grammar rules. Today, we are going to build one thing only: real work English. The English you need. The moment your manager asks you a question and you have 3 seconds to answer. Not 3 minutes. 3 seconds. That is how real conversations work. And today, you are going to be ready. If this is your first time here, welcome. You do not need any other video before this one. This lesson works completely on its own. If you have been here before, you already know how we do things. We listen. We repeat. We use real situations, not just words on a page. Quick favor before we begin. Tap that subscribe button and the bell so you do not miss the next lesson in this series. Now let's begin. I want you to meet someone. Her name is Sofia. Sofia moved to the United States 2 years ago. She studied English for years back home. She can read English news. She can write English emails, slowly, checking every word. But there is one place where Sofia still freezes. Speaking, live, in real time, with no time to think. And today, Sofia is going to show you exactly what that feels like, and exactly how to get through it. It is 9:40 in the morning. Sofia works at a small logistics company outside Chicago. She has been at this job for 4 months. She likes her coworkers. She is good at her work. But there is one meeting every week that makes her stomach twist. The Friday morning check-in with her manager, Mr. Whitmore. Today is Friday. Sofia is sitting at her desk. In front of her is a report. It is not finished. She has been working on it since Tuesday. But yesterday, the system crashed, and she lost 2 hours of work. She redid it, but she is behind. She knows Mr. Whitmore is going to ask about it in 20 minutes. In her head, she has practiced the sentence in Spanish first. Then she translates. Then she checks the grammar. Then she practices saying it. By the time she is ready, in her head, 10 minutes have already passed. This is the trap most English learners fall into. Not a lack of words. A slow bridge between the words they know and the mouth that has to say them. Live under pressure. Today we are going to shorten that bridge. Today we are going to make it short enough that you can cross it in 3 seconds, not 3 minutes. Let's start with 5 sentences. These are not random sentences. These are the exact sentences Sofia needs today, right now, before her meeting. Listen first, then repeat. Say it out loud, even if you are alone, even if you feel a little strange. Your mouth needs the practice, not just your brain. Sentence 1. I'm still working on it. Listen. I'm still working on it. Now you say it. I'm still working on it. One more time, a little faster, the way you would really say it in a hallway. I'm still working on it. Good. Sentence 2. It will be ready by Friday afternoon. Listen. It will be ready by Friday afternoon. Now you. It will be ready by Friday afternoon. Again, natural speed. It will be ready by Friday afternoon. Sentence 3. I ran into a small problem yesterday. Listen. I ran into a small problem yesterday. Repeat. I ran into a small problem yesterday. This phrase, ran into a problem, is something Americans say all the time at work. It means you had an unexpected problem. Say it again. I ran into a small problem yesterday. Sentence 4. Can I give you an update this afternoon instead? Listen. Can I give you an update this afternoon instead? Repeat. Can I give you an update this afternoon instead? This sentence is powerful. It buys you time politely, without lying, without hiding. Say it one more time. Can I give you an update this afternoon instead? Sentence 5. Thank you for your patience. Listen. Thank you for your patience. Repeat. Thank you for your patience. This is a small sentence, but it changes everything about how you sound. It sounds calm. It sounds professional. Even if you are behind on your work, this sentence tells your manager, I am handling this like an adult, not hiding from you. Say it again, slowly, and mean it. Thank you for your patience. Now, here is what most learners never practice, not the calm version. The version where your voice shakes a little, where you are nervous, where the words come out slower than you want. That is what Sofia is feeling right now at 9:52, watching the clock. Let's go back to her. At 9:55, Mr. Whitmore stops by her desk. He is not unkind. He is just direct, the way many American managers are. He says, Hey, Sofia, quick check. How's the shipment report coming along? I need it before I meet with the client at 11. Sofia's mind goes blank for exactly 1 second. In Spanish, the sentence forms perfectly in her head. In English, nothing comes out yet. This is the moment. This is exactly the moment we are training for today. Not the moment when you have time to think. The moment when you don't. What does Sofia do? She does not stay silent. She does not say, I don't know, and look at the floor. She uses the tool we practiced 2 minutes ago. She takes a small breath, and she says, I ran into a small problem yesterday. The system crashed and I lost some work. But it will be ready by Friday afternoon. Can I give you an update by 2 o'clock? It is not a perfect sentence. There is a small pause in the middle. Her accent is there, clearly. But Mr. Whitmore understands every word. He nods and says, Sounds good. Thanks for the heads up. And he walks away. Notice what just happened. Sofia did not need a perfect sentence. She needed a sentence that was clear enough, honest enough, and confident enough. That is the entire goal of English at work. Not sounding like a native speaker. Sounding like someone who is in control of the situation, even when the situation is a little messy. I want you to try something with me now. I am going to give you a question. The kind of question a manager, a coworker, or a client might ask you without warning. You will not know the perfect sentence. That is completely fine. We are going to build the answer in 2 steps. First, simple, then a little more detail. Exactly like Sofia just did. Question: is the report done? You don't know the perfect sentence. That's okay. Say something simple first. Not yet. Almost. Listen. Not yet. Almost. Repeat. Not yet. Almost. Now a little more. Not yet. I'm almost finished. I'll have it to you by this afternoon. Listen. Not yet. I'm almost finished. I'll have it to you by this afternoon. Repeat. Not yet. I'm almost finished. I'll have it to you by this afternoon. Both answers work. The simple one is honest and clear. The longer one adds control and confidence. You already have both inside you. Question: what happened? Why is it late? Simple first. There was a problem with the system. Listen. There was a problem with the system. Repeat. There was a problem with the system. Now, a little more, a little more. There was a problem with the system yesterday, and I lost a few hours of work. I'm almost caught up now. Listen. There was a problem with the system yesterday, and I lost a few hours of work. I'm almost caught up now. Repeat. There was a problem with the system yesterday, and I lost a few hours of work. I'm almost caught up now. Question: can you send it to me by 2? Simple first. Yes, I can do that. Listen. Yes, I can do that. Repeat. Yes, I can do that. A little more. Yes, I can do that. I'll email it to you as soon as it's ready. Listen. Yes, I can do that. I'll email it to you as soon as it's ready. Repeat. Yes, I can do that. I'll email it to you as soon as it's ready. Do you notice the pattern? In every situation, the simple answer was already enough to keep the conversation moving forward. The longer answer was not required. It was a bonus, something you add when you have a little more confidence in that moment. This is one of the biggest secrets that fluent speakers understand, and most English learners never hear it. You do not need the long, perfect sentence to survive the conversation. You need the short, true sentence, said without freezing. Now, let's build the vocabulary you need for situations exactly like Sofia's. The words that come up again and again in real American workplaces. Whether you are talking to a manager, a coworker, or answering questions in a job interview. I want you to say every word out loud after me and picture yourself using it today, this week, at your own job, or in your next interview. Word 1. Deadline. Listen. Deadline. Repeat. Deadline. A deadline is the last day or time something must be finished. If your manager says, the deadline is Friday, that means Friday is the last day to finish it. Example: the deadline for this project is next Monday. Example 2: I'm going to make the deadline, but it will be close. Now you try one sentence with the word deadline. Take a second. Say it out loud. Word 2. Update. Listen. Update. Repeat. Update. An update is new information about something that is already happening. If your manager asks for an update, They want to know what has changed since the last time you talked. Example: can you give me an update on the shipment? Example 2. I'll send you an update by the end of the day. Try your own sentence now, using the word update. Word 3. Ran into a problem. Listen. Ran into a problem. Repeat. Ran into a problem. This means something unexpected went wrong. It is more natural than saying, I had a problem. Americans say it in almost every workplace, every day. Example: we ran into a problem with the shipment this morning. Example 2. I ran into a small problem, but I fixed it. Try your own sentence. Word 4. Caught up. Listen. Caught up. Repeat. Caught up. If you are caught up, it means you have finished the work you were behind on. If someone asks, are you caught up on your emails? They are asking if you finished reading and answering all of them. Example: I'm almost caught up on the report. Example 2. Give me an hour, and I'll be fully caught up. Try your own sentence. Word 5. Heads up. Listen. Heads up. Repeat. Heads up. A heads up is a short warning or piece of information given in advance so someone is not surprised later. Example: Sen, thanks for the heads up about the meeting time change. Example 2. I wanted to give you a heads up. The report might be a few hours late. This is exactly the phrase Sofia's manager used with her. Try your own sentence now with heads up. Let's put all 5 words together the way they would actually appear in a real conversation, because words alone are not enough. You need to hear them living inside a sentence, moving at real speed. Listen to this short exchange between Sofia and her manager, and then we will shadow it. Piece by piece, acknowledger. Hey, Sofia, quick question. Are you caught up on the shipment report? I need an update before my client call. Sofia, not fully caught up yet. I ran into a problem with the system yesterday. But I'll have an update for you well before the deadline, probably by 2 o'clock. Just wanted to give you a heads up now instead of later. Manager: perfect. Thanks for letting me know. Let's shadow this, one line at a time. Listen first, then repeat with me. Are you caught up on the shipment report? Repeat. Are you caught up on the shipment report? I ran into a problem with the system yesterday. Repeat. I ran into a problem with the system yesterday. I'll have an update for you before the deadline. Repeat. I'll have an update for you before the deadline. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Repeat. Just wanted to give you a heads up. 1 more time, all together, a little faster, the way it really sounds in a busy office. Not fully caught up yet. I ran into a problem with the system yesterday. But I'll have an update for you well before the deadline. Just wanted to give you a heads up now instead of later. Repeat the whole thing with me, out loud, right now. Take a breath. That was a full, real, natural work conversation, and you just spoke every line of it. This is not a small thing. Most English learners spend years reading vocabulary lists and never once practice saying the words the way Sofia just did. Under a tiny bit of pressure, with a manager waiting for an answer, back to Sofia for a moment. It is now 1:50 in the afternoon. She finished the report at 1:30. She is walking toward Mr. Whitmore's office to hand it in early before her own deadline of 2 o'clock. But something unexpected happens. Right outside his office, she runs into someone she was not expecting, the regional director. Visiting from the New York office, someone she has never spoken to before. He stops her in the hallway and says, "You must be Sofia. I've heard good things. How's everything going on your end?" For a second, Sofia's heart jumps. This is not her manager. This is not a conversation she prepared for. This is a completely new person, a completely new question, and 0 seconds to think. She has 3 seconds. 3 seconds to answer a man she has never met. A man who could remember her name or forget her completely, depending on what she says right now. In her head, the perfect sentence starts forming in Spanish first. Something polished, something impressive, but there is no time for that. So Sofia does exactly what we practiced. She reaches for the short, true sentence instead of the long, perfect one. She smiles and says, "Everything's going well. Thank you. I'm actually just finishing up a report for Mr. Whitmore right now." It is simple. It is honest. It is said without a long pause, without her eyes dropping to the floor. The director nods, genuinely, and says, "Good to hear. Keep it up." And he continues down the hallway. That was it. That was the entire conversation. 5 seconds, maybe 6, and Sofia crossed it without freezing, because she did not try to build something impressive. She used what we call the hallway answer. Short, clear, true, and moving forward. This is one of the most useful skills in any American workplace, because most real conversations at work are exactly like this one. They are not long meetings. They are hallway moments, 5-second check-ins, quick questions between doors. If you can survive the hallway moment, you can survive almost anything at work. Let's practice a few more hallway moments together, because this is where most English learners actually lose their confidence, not in the big meeting they prepared for, but in the small, unplanned 5-second exchange they never saw coming. I'll give you a situation. You don't know the perfect sentence. That's fine. Say something simple first. Then we'll add a little more situation. A coworker passes you in the hallway and says, "Hey, how's your week going?" Simple answer first. "Pretty good, thanks." Busy, but good. Listen, pretty good, thanks. Busy, but good. Repeat. Pretty good, thanks. Busy, but good. A little more detail. Pretty good, thanks. It's been busy, but I'm getting through it. Listen. Pretty good, thanks. It's been busy, but I'm getting through it. Repeat. Pretty good, thanks. It's been busy, but I'm getting through it. Situation. Someone you don't know very well asks, "What do you do here?" Simple first. I work in shipping. I handle reports for the logistics team. Listen, I work in shipping. I handle reports for the logistics team. Repeat. I work in shipping. I handle reports for the logistics team. A little more. I work in shipping. I handle reports and coordinate with our logistics team every week. Listen, I work in shipping. I handle reports and coordinate with our logistics team every week. Repeat. I work in shipping. I handle reports and coordinate with our logistics team every week. Situation. Your manager passes by and says, "How's the report looking?" Simple first. It's done. I'm bringing it to you now. Listen. It's done. I'm bringing it to you now. Repeat. It's done. I'm bringing it to you now. A little more. It's done, actually. I finished it a little early. I'm on my way to drop it off now. Listen. It's done, actually. I finished it a little early. I'm on my way to drop it off now. Repeat. It's done. Actually. I finished it a little early. I'm on my way to drop it off now. Did you notice something in all three of these? Every simple answer was already enough to keep you moving forward in the conversation without stopping, without panic. No. The longer version simply adds a little more color, a little more confidence. Once you're warmed up, this is exactly what happened to Sofia in that hallway. She didn't need the perfect answer for the director. She needed a true forward-moving answer. And she had it because she had practiced short sentences like this one many times until they became automatic. Now Sofia reaches Mr. Whitmore's office. His door is open. She knocks softly on the frame. He looks up from his computer and says, "Oh, Sofia, perfect timing. Come in." She hands him the report. He looks it over for a moment, and then he asks a question she wasn't fully ready for. "This looks good. Can you walk me through the numbers on page 2? I want to understand the shipping delay before I talk to the client." This is different from the hallway moment. This is not a 5-second exchange. This is a real explanation in real time about something technical, something detailed, something she understands perfectly well in her own language, but has never had to explain out loud in English before. Her stomach tightens again, but this time she remembers something important. She does not need to explain it perfectly. She needs to explain it clearly, one piece at a time, using simple, connected sentences, and it is completely fine to pause between them. She takes a breath and begins. So, basically, there were 2 shipments that got delayed at the port. The first one was delayed because of a customs issue that added about 3 days. The second one was delayed because of weather on the East Coast. So together, that pushed our delivery date back about 5 days total. There is a small pause after customs issue where she searches for the next word. There is a slightly awkward moment where she says, "So, basically, a little too much." But every single sentence is understood. Mr. Whitmore nods along, asks one follow-up question, and is the client aware of the new delivery date? And Sofia answers, "Yes. I already sent them an updated timeline yesterday afternoon." He closes the report and says, "Great work. Thanks for staying on top of this." And just like that, the meeting that Sofia had been dreading since Tuesday is over. Not perfect, not polished like a native speaker, but completely, fully successful. I want you to notice something important about what just happened, because it is the entire secret behind fluent-sounding English at work. Sophia did not explain the whole situation in one giant, complicated sentence. She broke it into small pieces connected by simple linking words. So, basically, the first one, the second one, together, that. These small connector words are doing enormous work. They are the glue that lets you build a longer explanation out of short, simple sentences you already know, instead of needing one long, perfect sentence you don't. Let's practice this exact skill right now, because it is one of the most valuable things you will learn today. I'm going to give you a simple explanation, broken into small pieces, using connector words. Listen to each piece, then repeat it. So, basically, listen. So basically, repeat. So basically, this phrase buys you a half second to organize your thought, and it sounds completely natural. Americans use it constantly at work. The first thing is listen. The first thing is repeat. The first thing is, and then on top of that, listen. And then on top of that, repeat. And then on top of that. This phrase adds a second point smoothly without needing a complicated sentence structure. So altogether, that means listen. So altogether, that means repeat. So altogether, that means. This phrase helps you summarize the way Sophia did when she said that pushed our delivery date back about 5 days total. Now, let's put these connector pieces to work with a brand new example. Something you might explain at your own job. Imagine your manager asks, "Why is the order late?" Here is how you can build your answer, piece by piece, exactly like Sophia did. So, basically, there was a delay with the supplier. Listen. So, basically, there was a delay with the supplier. Repeat. So, basically, there was a delay with the supplier. The first thing is they were out of stock on one item. Listen. The first thing is they were out of stock on one item. Repeat. The first thing is they were out of stock on one item. And then, on top of that, the shipping company had a delay too. Listen. And then, on top of that, the shipping company had a delay too. Repeat. And then, on top of that, the shipping company had a delay too. So altogether, that means the order will be about 4 days late. Listen. So altogether, that means the order will be about 4 days late. Repeat. So altogether, that means the order will be about 4 days late. Now say the whole thing together, out loud, from the beginning, like you are the one explaining it to your own manager right now. So, basically, there was a delay with the supplier. The first thing is they were out of stock on one item. And then, on top of that, the shipping company had a delay too. So, altogether, that means the order will be about 4 days late. Take a breath. What you just did is something most English learners never practice, because textbooks teach grammar rules, not real explanations under real pressure. You just built a full, connected, professional explanation using nothing but simple pieces and a few small connector words. This is exactly how confident English speakers sound at work. Not because their vocabulary is bigger than yours, but because they know how to link simple pieces together smoothly. Let's go back to Sofia one more time, because her day is not quite finished yet, and there is one more moment coming that I think you will recognize immediately. The moment almost every English learner fears the most. It is 4:15 in the afternoon. Sofia is at her desk, relaxed for the first time all day, when her phone rings. It's an unknown number. She almost lets it go to voicemail, the way she often does with unfamiliar calls, because phone calls in English, without seeing anyone's face, without any body language to help her guess the words, feel like the hardest kind of English there is. But this time, she remembers the caller ID says ABC Logistics. It's probably the shipping company. She takes a breath and she answers. Hi, this is Dana calling from ABC Logistics. Is this Sofia? Sofia's brain, for a half second, goes completely blank, the way it always does at the very start of a phone call. But instead of freezing, she uses a sentence we are going to practice together right now, one of the single most useful sentences for any phone call in English. Yes, this is Sofia speaking. Listen. Yes, this is Sofia speaking. Repeat. Yes, this is Sofia speaking. This sentence does something important. It confirms who you are calmly, and it buys you a second to focus, because your ears need a moment to adjust to a new voice on the phone. Donna continues, speaking a little quickly, the way people often do on the phone. I'm calling about your shipment from yesterday. There's a small issue with the tracking number. Do you have a minute to go over it? Sofia catches most of it, but not all of it. Phone calls are harder than face-to-face conversations because there are no lips to read, no hands to watch. So instead of guessing or saying yes and hoping for the best, she uses another sentence we need in your toolbox today. Sorry, could you say that one more time? I didn't catch the last part. Listen, sorry, could you say that one more time? I didn't catch the last part. Repeat. Sorry, could you say that one more time? I didn't catch the last part. This is not a weakness. This is something native English speakers say to each other constantly. Every single day, on every kind of phone call, asking someone to repeat is not a sign that your English is bad. It is a sign that you are actively listening and making sure the conversation is accurate, which, at work, matters far more than sounding perfect the first time. Dana repeats, a little slower this time. There's a small issue with the tracking number on your shipment. Can I read it back to you to confirm it's correct? Now Sofia understands clearly. She says, yes, go ahead. Dana reads the number. Sofia checks it against her screen and says, that's correct. Yes. Dana says, great, that's all I needed. Thanks for your time. Sofia replies, no problem, thank you for calling, and hangs up. That phone call lasted less than 2 minutes. It included one moment of confusion, one polite request to repeat, and one confirmation. And it was completely and totally a successful English phone call. The exact kind of phone call that so many English learners avoid, sometimes for years, because they believe they need to understand 100% of every word the first time. Or, the call is a failure. It isn't. Asking someone to repeat once, calmly, is one of the most professional habits a person can have on the phone in any language. Let's build your own phone call toolbox right now. 5 short phrases that will carry you through almost any unexpected call at work. Say each one out loud with me and really imagine yourself holding the phone as you say it. This is your name. Speaking. Listen. This is Sofia speaking. Now say it with your own name. This is speaking. Sorry, could you repeat that? Listen. Sorry, could you repeat that? Repeat. Sorry, could you repeat that? Could you speak a little slower, please? Listen. Could you speak a little slower, please? Repeat. Could you speak a little slower, please? This is another sentence you are completely allowed to use anytime with anyone. Native speakers ask each other to slow down all the time, especially on phone lines with bad connections. Let me just confirm that. Listen. Let me just confirm that. Repeat. Let me just confirm that. This buys you time and shows the other person you are paying close attention. Can I call you back on that? Listen. Can I call you back on that? Repeat. Can I call you back on that? This is your emergency exit sentence. If a call ever becomes too fast or too confusing, this sentence lets you end it politely and prepare a clearer answer for later. So, without any embarrassment at all, now let's move into something a little different. A fast round, the kind of round where we build muscle memory. Instead of thinking time, I'm going to give you the start of a sentence over and over with a different ending each time. Your job is to complete it out loud, quickly, without pausing to translate. This is exactly the kind of drill that trained Sofia's mouth to respond automatically today, instead of freezing. Starter. I ran into a problem with. Complete it with. The system. I ran into a problem with the system. Complete it with. The shipment. I ran into a problem with the shipment. Complete it with. The schedule. I ran into a problem with the schedule. Complete it with. The printer. I ran into a problem with the printer. Say. All 4 again. Quickly. One after another, without stopping between them. Starter. I'll have it ready by. Complete it with. Friday. I'll have it ready by Friday. Complete it with. 2 o'clock. I'll have it ready by 2 o'clock. Complete it with. The end of the day. I'll have it ready by the end of the day. Complete it with. Tomorrow morning. I'll have it ready by tomorrow morning. Again, all 4, quickly, back to back. Starter. Can I give you an update on? Complete it with. The report. Can I give you an update on the report? Complete it with. The order. Can I give you an update on the order? Complete it with. The meeting. Can I give you an update on the meeting? Complete it with. The project. Can I give you an update on the project? One more time, quickly, all 4 in a row. Starter. Sorry, could you repeat? Complete it with that. Sorry, could you repeat that? Complete it with the question. Sorry, could you repeat the question? Complete it with the date. Sorry, could you repeat the date? Complete it with the last part. Sorry, could you repeat the last part? Once more, all 4, fast and confident. You just built 4 sentence patterns, and inside each pattern, 4 different real situations you could face this week. Teach me. That is 16 real sentences you now own. Not memorized from a page, but built out loud, with your own mouth and your own timing. This is the difference between studying English and training English. Today, you have been training. It is almost 5 o'clock now, and Sofia's day at work is nearly finished. She is packing up her bag, thinking back over the day. The report, the hallway conversation with the director, the explanation to Mr. Whitmore, the phone call with Dana. None of these moments were perfect English. There were pauses. There was one moment where she had to ask someone to repeat themselves. There was a small awkward. So, basically, repeated a few too many times. But every single conversation succeeded. Every single conversation moved forward, was understood, and ended the way it needed to end. With information shared, with trust built, with her job done well. This is the exact shift we are training in you today. Not the shift from bad English to perfect English. That shift can take years, and honestly, most native speakers never reach a version of their own language that is completely perfect either. The shift we want is faster and far more useful. It is the shift from silence to sound, from freezing to speaking, from waiting for the perfect sentence to using the sentence you already have, right now, in this second. Before Sofia leaves for the day, one more thing happens. Something small, but something worth pausing on, because it shows you what this whole journey looks like when it starts to pay off. A new employee, someone who started just this week, stops by her desk. His name is Marcus, and he looks the way Sofia looked 4 months ago. A little unsure, a little quiet, watching everyone else talk quickly and confidently while he searches for the right words. He says, hesitantly, "Sorry, quick question. Do you know where the supply room is? I need paper for the printer." His sentence is broken into small pieces, with pauses between them, exactly like Sofia's English used to sound. And here is the moment I want you to notice. Sofia does not think, even for a second, his English isn't very good. She understands him immediately, completely, without any judgment at all. Because that is how real communication works between real people. Nobody at work is grading your grammar. They are listening for your meaning, and your meaning in that sentence was completely 100% clear. She smiles and says, yeah, it's just down the hall, past the copy machine, second door on the left." Marcus nods. relieved, and says, "Thank you so much," and heads off to find it. Sophia watches him go, and for a second, she feels something she has not felt in a long time about her own English. Not fear, but a strange, quiet kind of pride. 4 months ago, she was Marcus. Today, she is the person other people ask for directions, because she sounds like someone who belongs here, not because her English became perfect, because she stopped waiting for perfect and started speaking. Anyway, I want to pause the story for a moment and speak directly to you, because I know some of you watching this right now are exactly where Sophia was on her very first day. Maybe exactly where Marcus is this week. You understand more English than you can say out loud. You know the words. You know the grammar. But the moment someone asks you a real question, live, with no time to prepare, something freezes. That freeze is not a language problem. It is a fear problem. And fear does not go away by studying more grammar. Fear goes away by speaking again and again in small, safe repetitions until your mouth trusts itself the way it already trusts your native language. That is exactly what we are going to do for the next few minutes. One more full round of practice, a little different from before, slower, calmer, focused entirely on belief instead of speed. This is the part of the lesson where your brain stops thinking of these sentences as practice and starts accepting them as simply true. Say these with me slowly and really listen to your own voice as you say them. I don't need perfect English to do my job well. Listen, I don't need perfect English to do my job well. Repeat slowly. I don't need perfect English to do my job well. One more time, and this time, really believe it as you say it. I don't need perfect English to do my job well. A short pause is not a mistake. It's just me thinking. Listen, a short pause is not a mistake. It's just me thinking. Repeat, a short pause is not a mistake. It's just me thinking. Again, calmly, a short pause is not a mistake. It's just me thinking. Asking someone to repeat is a sign that I'm listening carefully. Listen, asking someone to repeat is a sign that I'm listening carefully. Repeat. Asking someone to repeat is a sign that I'm listening carefully. My simple sentence is enough to move the conversation forward. Listen. My simple sentence is enough to move the conversation forward. Repeat with confidence. My simple sentence is enough to move the conversation forward. Every day I speak, my English gets a little stronger. Listen, every day I speak, my English gets a little stronger. Repeat and let it land. Every day I speak, my English gets a little stronger. I am someone who speaks English at work, not someone who is still learning to. Listen carefully to this last one, because it is a small but important shift in identity. I am someone who speaks English at work. Repeat it fully, with conviction. I am someone who speaks English at work. Now let's take everything we practiced today. The report update, the hallway answer, the connected explanation, the phone call, and run through the complete toolbox. One final time, quickly so it settles firmly into your memory before we finish. I'll give you the situation. You give me the sentence out loud right now. Before I say it, your manager asks if your work is done and it isn't quite finished yet. What do you say? Not yet. I'm almost finished. I'll have it to you by this afternoon. Something unexpected went wrong yesterday, and you need to explain it quickly. What do you say? I ran into a small problem yesterday. You want to update your manager on something without making them wait. What do you say? Just wanted to give you a heads up. Someone on the phone is speaking too fast, and you missed the last part. What do you say? Sorry. Could you repeat that? A stranger in the hallway asks how your week is going. What do you say? Pretty good, thanks. Busy, but good. You need to explain a problem that has two separate causes. What connector words help you organize it? So, basically, the first thing is, and then, on top of that, so altogether, that means look at everything you just recalled, from memory, out loud, without me reading it to you first. That is not luck. That is training. That is exactly what happened inside Sofia's mind today, and it is exactly what is happening inside yours right now. Let's do one final piece of practice together. A short imagined phone call, entirely built from the tools you now own. I want you to imagine you are Sofia at her desk, and the phone rings one more time. This is a new call, a new voice, and you are going to handle the entire thing using only what we practiced today. Listen to each line. Then say your part out loud before moving to the next line. The voice on the phone says, "Hi, is this the logistics department? I need to ask about a delayed order." You answer. Say it now. "Yes, this is Sofia speaking. How can I help you?" The voice continues, a little quickly. "Great. So the order number is 44782. And it was supposed to arrive Tuesday, but my client still hasn't received it. And I'm trying to figure out what happened and when it's actually going to get there." That was fast and a little long. You didn't catch all of it clearly. What do you say? Say it now. Sorry, could you say that one more time? I didn't catch the order number. The voice slows down and repeats the order number clearly. You check your system. You find a small delay caused by a carrier issue. Explain it to them now, using the connector words we practiced. Take a breath and build it piece by piece. So, basically, there was a delay with the carrier. The first thing is, the truck was rescheduled due to weather. And then, on top of that, it got held for a routine inspection. So altogether, that means the order should arrive by Thursday instead of Tuesday. The voice says, "Okay, thank you for explaining that. Can you send me a confirmation email?" You answer, "Yes, I can do that. I'll send it to you as soon as we hang up." Take a breath. You just handled an entire, unplanned, real-sounding phone call from the first ring to the final goodbye, using nothing but the tools built today. A hallway sentence, a repeat request, a connected explanation, and a simple confirmation. That is not luck. And it is not because your grammar suddenly became perfect in the last few minutes. It is because you stopped reaching for the impossible 100% perfect sentence and instead reached for the true, clear, forward-moving sentence that was already sitting right there, inside you, the whole time. I want you to think back for just a moment to how you felt at the very beginning of this lesson. When I asked you to imagine your manager suddenly asking about a report. Right now, with 3 seconds to answer, some of you felt that familiar tightness in your chest. That fear is real, and it does not disappear just because one video told you to relax. But something has changed since then. You now have 5 ready sentences for an unexpected update. You have a hallway answer for the coworker you weren't expecting to talk to. You have 4 connector phrases to build a longer explanation out of short, simple pieces. You have 5 phone sentences for the call you almost let go to voicemail. And most importantly, you have proof. Real, out loud, practiced proof that your mouth can produce all of this under a small amount of pressure without falling apart. That is the entire lesson today. Not perfect English. Ready English. English that shows up exactly when you need it, in the 3 seconds you actually have, instead of the 3 minutes you wish you had. Sofia's day is done. She walks out to her car, and for the first time in a long time, she isn't replaying the day's conversations in her head, worrying about every small mistake. She's just thinking about dinner. That, more than any grammar rule, is what fluency actually feels like. Not perfect sentences, but a quiet mind, because speaking has stopped being the scary part of the day. If today's lesson felt real to you, if you recognized yourself in Sofia's freeze at her desk, or in Marcus asking about the supply room, or in the phone call you almost let ring through to voicemail, so I want you to do one small thing right now. Comment below with the words, "Ready today." And tell me in one short English sentence, one real situation at your own job where you're going to use one of today's phrases this week. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be true, and it needs to be yours. I read every single comment, and I want to see exactly which sentence you're taking with you. You came into this lesson today knowing the words, but freezing when it was your turn to speak. You are leaving this lesson with 5 ready sentences for an unexpected update. A hallway answer that works in almost any quick exchange. A way to explain a problem clearly using simple, connected pieces. And 5 phone phrases that will carry you through a call you didn't expect. That is not a small win. That is the exact skill that separates someone who avoids speaking English at work from someone who simply does their job in English without needing permission to sound perfect first. Next time on EFL USA, we're going to step into a different kind of pressure. The job interview itself, the moment before you even have the job, when every answer feels like it's being judged. We'll build the exact sentences you need for the questions that catch. Almost every beginner off guard, the same way we built Sofia's toolbox today. Until then, keep speaking, even when it isn't perfect. Especially when it isn't perfect. That is not the exception to fluency. That is fluency. I'll see you in the next lesson.